Hey guys, if you're like me and your second generation Ford Ranger's four-wheel drive, your automatic four-wheel drive has randomly stopped working completely, like you press the buttons and nothing happens at all, I have a fix for you that is most likely going to be 100% free for you, and it's extremely easy and takes less than an hour. What I have here is the shift motor. This is the cause of your problem. There's a 90% chance. This sits on the front of, it sits on the back of your transfer case. It looks like a window motor. It sits, you'll go underneath your truck under the driver's side. It'll be sitting up there like this. And it won't fall apart like that. Obviously, mine's already taken apart because I just did the repair. And then I'm just going to show you guys how to do it. It'll be sitting there like this. It'll have 3 bolts holding it on there, there, and there, and one back here. So you unbolt that. You got to unplug this thing here. This will be held on. This here will be held on by these 2 bolts. This bolt here and this bolt up here will go into these holes. Then you're going to have to snip these wires because there really isn't another way to get them off. That's what I found. So once you do that, you'll have this sitting here, how it is. And you'll have these screws, 3 of these ones that you'll have to take out. They are a Torx T20 bit. This one right here, the tamper-proof one, with the hole in the middle. And if you use any other Torx bit, it either A, will not fit, or B, it'll just break off when you try and undo it. Because these were so corroded when I took them out. I mean, you can see the corrosion on it. It's just crammed full. The threads are just packed. I found it helps a lot to use a driver drill. One that, it's a hammer drill basically. I'm assuming you know what that is already with that bit. So once you get that off, this is most likely going to be corroded shut. So I took my trusty old school vice grip and just started pounding around the corners until it came loose. And I was able to just lift it up and out and over. And inside you'll see this here. Now, this and this are part of the problem. See these little electrical contacts here? When this is closed, they sit against these strips of metal in here, and that is what tells your truck what position the motor's in. So, this here is what spins the transfer case. You can see the hole in there. The keyed hole lines up with the thing on the transfer case. That spins it. So in order to get this out, you basically just have to tip this over. And we'll find the root of the cause of our problem inside here. This. These little yellow things here. That used to be a bushing. If I can get it sitting up right, yeah, you can see that. That used to be a bushing. That bushing went around this screw. And when this screw spins around with this gear here, it hits this stopper. And that stops the motor in the correct place and keeps these aligned with the contacts on there. And when this bushing cracks and breaks off from old age, you can see how it's all yellow. It was probably a clear polyurethane bushing when it was brand new. But it cracks and falls off, and this goes just a little bit too far. And all these contacts just fall off, and your truck has no idea where the motor is, so it just kind of stops working. It doesn't know what to do. So my cheap, simple fix to this is you just trash this bushing. You go to your local hardware store, and you go back and find some of this pipe, this tube, little plastic stuff. What I got here is 3/8 outside diameter, 1/4 inch inside diameter. Just take a little piece of it, and now unless your local hardware store owner is the biggest tight ass in the world, he'll give you this little 1/2 inch long chunk for free. What you do then is you squeeze this right over that screw. I can get it on there. I'm using my left hand for everything. Let's switch hands. You just got to push the rubber over the screw. Just like that. It'll sit on there nice. It's the same size as the bushing. And this stuff is a little bit more flexible. It squishes just a tiny little bit without too much give. So it should last a lot longer than this, although this took 25 years to break. So, in the event of an apocalypse, you'll be set. And that's your free fix right there. Now for reassembly, there's a few things you gotta, well, there's one thing in particular you gotta be careful of. There's a little notch right there. That little notch lines up with a small notch right there on this. And you gotta make sure those line up, otherwise the gear won't be able to fall down far enough to put your shift motor back together, like I believe that's how it is right now. Yeah, see there's a gap right there. So try this again. This has got to be exactly off to the side. Okay. Now, as you can see, mine here was corroded so badly that all these little tabs here just broke right off. So I think I'll still be okay though, because the screws overlap and they go over the edge of this just a little bit, so that'll be fine. And you put that back together, make sure it's all flush, plug that back in, splice the wires together, and your motor should work fine. Although note that the plastic bushing around the inside of this gear here may have shifted a little bit, so you're going to have to take a wrench, clamp it onto this piece on the transfer case, and turn it until it lines up here. Unless you can figure out a way to turn the motor, which is probably not going to work because that's just a large motor with a large reduction. Yeah, you can put it on there, and you can hit 4-wheel high, I believe, and it'll push it into 4-wheel high. Then press it again, put you in 2-wheel drive, and it should work. So there you go. Yeah, that should be your fix. Questions, comments, whatever you have, just let me know. Criticisms, well, I probably don't care, so don't even bother. Thank you.